Good morning. Welcome, everyone. About to get started. Welcome to the University of Cambridge. Welcome once again to the conference Past as Prelude, Polish-Ukrainian Relations for the 21st Century. My name is Rory Finnan. I'm head of the Department of Slavonic Studies and director of the Ukrainian Studies program. It's great to see you all here today on likely the hottest day Cambridge will see this year. I think we're tweeting right now that we have very good air conditioning, so I'm sure we'll have a sea of people flooding this room shortly. I just want to repeat a few things that I mentioned yesterday, so sorry to be a bit repetitive, but I want to again introduce the conference to those of you who are coming for today's events. The conference is really based on two ideas. The first is that the relationship between Poland and Ukraine, from a variety of angles, is hugely important to Europe today, hugely important to Great Britain today, especially given the circumstances in Ukraine, the legacy of Maidan, the so-called Revolution of Dignity, Rewolucja Hidności, the annexation of Crimea, and of course the ongoing war in Donbass over Ukraine's independence and sovereignty, among other things. The second idea is somewhat paradoxically related to the first, and that is that we often don't talk substantively, intricately about this relationship. We don't explore its contours and its dynamics. So the main objective of the conference is to get the discussion going, to unpack it, to understand the ideas and principles underlining it, and to assess its resilience and its strength in light of this ever-changing situation. So I'm really pleased we have such a diverse and eminent group of speakers to join us in this conversation today. We talked a great deal yesterday on the themes of reconciliation and also this notion of asymmetry. And we focused a great deal on the past, as we should. I'm hopeful that today we can also focus a bit more on the future, that we can in fact explore the notion of reconciliation and asymmetry with a view to what could be done substantively, specifically, to improve these relationships going forward, because it doesn't take much to imagine a scenario in which the Polish-Ukrainian relationship, particularly in terms of strategy and defense, becomes especially critical in light of a lot of, let's say, nightmarish scenarios with respect to regional conflict. One other thing, the conference has an unusual format, perhaps. We're starting with an introductory presentation. We're then following it with two panel discussions, one before lunch, one after. And then we're concluding the day with another roundtable featuring roughly half of our conference participants. And this roundtable is going to be live streamed online to involve audiences in Poland, Ukraine, and here in Britain as well. This conference would not be possible were it not for the support of numerous external partners, but it wouldn't be possible without the Polish Studies program here at Cambridge, which is new this year, and it wouldn't be possible without the vision and leadership of our great new lecturer in Polish Studies, Dr. Stanley Bill. And I'd like to introduce Stan and welcome him and have the floor.
Good morning, everyone. It's great to see some people in here on this, I think, what is the hottest day in 9 years in the UK, according to the BBC this morning. So as an Australian, I can say it's familiar. It's like a nice, crisp winter's morning back home. So yesterday, we really set a great foundation for what could be some more difficult conversations today, especially I think we want to push the envelope further in the final panel discussion today. We've set this historical foundation yesterday. We've talked about the current crisis, and we're going to go and get into a little more detail today about the Kultura doctrine that we've mentioned. This is this work of Polish émigré intellectuals in cooperation with Ukrainian émigré intellectuals and the effect that had on the development of Polish-Ukrainian relations. We're also going to talk about ethnic minorities within this Polish-Ukrainian relationship, so that's going to come in the first panel today. We've talked a lot about asymmetrical relations, which is obviously a very important element in the problem or the issue that we're talking about. So I'll be interested to hear Mikola Ryabchuk talk about the benefit that we could derive from asymmetrical relations in his talk in the first panel. Then in the final panel of the day, we're going to move on to the idea of paradigm change. And I think this will be an interesting issue to discuss in the round table as well. Jaroslav Frycak yesterday morning put the case that perhaps the paradigm does not need to change. It's simply a matter of broadening the discussion, broadening the discussion to a greater range of participants. So I think this is the kind of question that we can discuss in more detail later in the day.